This is Change Your Mindset Podcast, the podcast that helps change your life by helping change the mindset of the 99% into the 1% mindset. Here's your host, Adrian Gomez.
Welcome to Change Your Mindset Podcast. I'm your host, Adrian Gomez. There's a lot of crazy things going on in this world, such as how society wants to go with emotions and feelings instead of actual logic, which is insane and ludicrous. Instead of actually going by the facts, by statistics, people rather go by how they feel and by their emotions, even though the stats do not lie. But people rather avoid and ignore it and rather go off how they feel and neglect everything else, which makes no sense at all. But like I said, nowadays in society, a lot of things that used to be common sense are not so common anymore. You have to be careful where you get your news from. You have to be careful what kind of influencers you listen to, because a lot of them will lie to you and manipulate you. Because nowadays, people rather not think for themselves. They rather listen to something and just believe it, without questioning it, without thinking about it, without researching it. But that's the society we live in nowadays. The topic of being overweight, being fat. Everybody knows it's not good. It's not healthy. There are no pros of being overweight. There's a lot of stats that prove this, showing if you're overweight or fat, it's bad for you. You have knee problems, you have health problems, you have to do a lot of prescriptions. There's so many things that are bad for you by being overweight. But nowadays, people support being overweight. People are saying it's okay to be fat. It's actually bad to exercise. It's not your fault you're overweight. This is how society is nowadays. And I would never stand or support these lies. I always tell you, you need to lose weight. You need to be the best version of yourself. And never have a victim mindset. This is on you. If you're overweight, that's on you. No one's shoving food down your throat. No one's not letting you work out. No one's not letting you go to the gym. This is on you. But society says it's not your fault anymore. It's everybody else's fault except yours, which is a lie, which is BS, because it's not true. You control your own destiny. You control your own life. You control your own health. You control everything. Nobody controls it for you. This is on you. Screw all these people in this society nowadays, these influencers that are saying it's okay to be overweight, it's okay to be fat, it's okay to be unhealthy. It's not okay. And I would never stand for something like that. You might not like the message, but it's the truth. And like I always told you, I always tell you the truth. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to manipulate you. Whether you want to hear it or not, I would tell you the truth, and I would tell you the facts. No matter how cruel it is, it's the truth. And people need to hear the truth more now than ever, because so many lies and false information that's going on nowadays. And I'm going to prove it to you. I'm going to read you 2 articles. The first one, the title is Exercise Twice as Effective as Antidepressants. And the second article is obviously the opposite. Too much exercise can kill you, especially if you're a white man. Study finds 7.5 hours a week of fitness doubles your risk of heart disease. So how does this make any sense? One says exercise is good for you. The second, exercise is bad for you. Come on, common sense. If you want to live a long life, if you want to live healthy, if you want to not go to doctors anymore, if you want to live a happier life, you work out, you stay healthy, and you eat right. If you want to know what the secret is to the fountain of youth, that's it. Work out, eat clean. You're going to have a long life, and you will be much happier and healthier. It's common sense. There's facts and statistics that prove exactly this. But no, nowadays people want to do the opposite. I'm going to let you listen to 2 people. One's supposed to be a nurse or doctor, and the other one claims they are in the medical field. And they actually support being overweight, being fat, and not working out. And you can decide for yourself which one's actually right and which one's actually wrong. But I'm sure you have great common sense, and you already know the answer. But unfortunately, this is society nowadays. People rather think with their emotions and feelings instead of logic. So I'm going to read you the first article. The article is by Telegraph.com. The title is Exercise Twice as Effective as Antidepressants. Researchers find walking or jogging is best way to improve symptoms. The article is by Michael Searles. It was published February 14th, 2024. Exercise is twice as effective at treating depression as antidepressants, a study has suggested. Walking or jogging at least 2 to 3 times a week was considered the best way to improve symptoms of depression, researchers revealed. Expert analyzed 14,170 people with major depressive disorder from 218 separate trials and ranked different forms of exercise by how effective they were at treating the condition compared with existing treatments. While all forms of intervention were effective to some degree, taking antidepressants, known as selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors, short for SSRI, the most commonly prescribed type, on their own was less effective than either exercise or therapy, the study found. Taking just antidepressants improved a person's symptoms by 26%, the study found, while just walking or jogging improved symptoms by 63%. Researchers found that the benefits from exercise tended to be proportional to the intensity, and that the more vigorous the exercise, the better. Swap repeat prescriptions for art. A record 6.8 million people in England were prescribed antidepressants in 2022 through 2023, while as many as 1 in 6 people have symptoms of moderate or severe depression, according to the Office for National Statistics, ONS. The NHS issued national guidance to GPs last year, urging them to stop writing repeat prescriptions for those who have become dependent on common medications, including antidepressants, in favor of activities like art, music, and gardening classes. Exercise is also being prescribed by doctors, with the National Institute for Health and Care Excellence, the NHS drug watchdog, recommending group exercise sessions at least once a week for 10 weeks with a trained practitioner. The study, led by researchers at the University of Queensland, Australia, also found that yoga was as effective as cognitive behavioral therapy, both of which produced a moderate improvement in symptoms of around 55%. Researchers also found that dance was a very effective treatment but could not make broad sweeping claims about its benefits as the trials recruited an overwhelming number of young women. Cycling, strength training, and Tai Chi all scored better than antidepressants alone, although not as high as other forms of exercise. Results did not differ among people with other underlying health conditions or by their varying severity of depression. Yoga more effective for men. While walking and jogging were effective for both men and women, the study found that strength training was more effective for women and younger people, and yoga more effective for men and older people. Dr. Michael Notel, the lead author, said it was the largest study to date to assess the effectiveness of exercise on depression. The paper states, exercise may therefore be considered a viable alternative to drug treatment. We also found evidence that exercise increases the effects of SSRI, so offering exercise may act as an adjuvant for those already taking drugs. That's the end of the article. So great. There's statistics that say working out and exercising can help get rid of depression instead of taking drugs, because we have a big problem in society because a lot of people are depressed nowadays. So we know how to fix it. People need to exercise instead of taking drugs. Great. So now I'm going to read you the next article, which contradicts exercising now for health benefits. The article is from Daily Mail. It was published on October 17th, 2017 by Mia de Graaf. Before I start reading the article, I understand it's 2017. I understand it's 7 years old. But Daily Mail has a reputation of saying how exercising is bad for you. So I'm going to read you a couple other titles that they published. Are you exercising too much? Expert warns that working out more than 5 days a week can cause sleep problems. And that was published November 5th, 2023. Another article by Daily Mail. Risk of fatal heart problem doubles if you exercise. And that was published July 12th, 2021. Another article. Too much exercise can increase risk of heart attack or stroke. And that was published May 15th, 2014 by Daily Mail as well. Another one. Is too much exercise bad for the heart? Published February 25th, 2016 by Daily Mail. Last one. Exercise might not make you live longer. Published December 6, 2023, as well by Daily Mail. So I'm just proving to you that Daily Mail has a consistent history of saying exercising is not good for you. It is bad. So now I'm going to read you the article. Too much exercise can kill you, especially if you're a white man. Study finds 7.5 hours a week of fitness doubles your risk of heart disease. White men who work out at least 7.5 hours a week are nearly twice as likely to suffer from heart disease than those who do a moderate amount, a new study shows. Researchers in Chicago assessed exercise patterns over the course of 25 years and made the surprising discovery that very active white men are 86% more likely to experience a buildup of plaque in the heart arteries by middle age. But this didn't apply to black men, they discovered. It was suggested high levels of exercise over time cause stress on the arteries, leading to higher coronary artery calcification, CAC. However, scientists warn people should not stop exercising. The team from the University of Illinois at Chicago and Kaiser Permanente looked at the physical activity trajectories of 3,175 black and white participants in the long-term cardia study and assessed the presence of CAC. The presence of an amount of CAC is a significant warning sign to doctors that a patient may be at risk for developing heart disease and a signal to consider early preventive care. Dr. Deepika Laddu, assistant professor of physical therapy in the UIC College of Applied Health Sciences, said, quote, "We expected to see that higher levels of physical activity over time would be associated with lower levels of CAC," end quote. However, they found that at the top level of exercise, there was no extra risk for black men, but an 86% increased risk for white men. Unique to the study is the evaluation of long-term exercise patterns. From young adulthood into middle age, the study group had 8 follow-up examinations over 25 years, from 1985 through 2011, starting at age 18 to 30, and finishing at 43 to 55. Group 1 was defined as exercising below the national guidelines of less than 150 minutes a week. Group 2 as meeting the national guidelines of 150 minutes a week, and Group 3 was exercising 3 times above the national guidelines over 450 minutes a week. Overall, those in Group 3 were 27% more likely than those in Group 1 to develop CAC by middle age. When these findings were divided by race and gender, they found that white men were at the highest risk, as they were 86% more likely to have CAC. There was no higher odds of CAC for black participants who exercised at this level, and while there was a similar trend for white women, it was not statistically significant. Professor Laddu added, because the study results show a significantly different level of risk between black and white participants based on long-term exercise trajectories, the data provides rationale for further investigation, especially by race, into the other biological mechanisms for CAC. Risk in people with very high levels of physical activity. Study co-author Dr. Jamal Rana, a cardiologist at Kaiser Permanente in Oakland, said, quote, "High levels of exercise over time may cause stress on the arteries, leading to higher CAC. However, this plaque buildup may well be of the more stable kind, and thus less likely to rupture and causes heart attack, which was not evaluated in this study, end quote. However, he added, it does not suggest that anyone should stop exercising. And that is the end of the article. So this article just said, exercising is bad for you, especially if you are a white male. This is ludicrous. This is crazy. Logic isn't logic anymore. Like I said before, you gotta be careful where you get news from. You gotta be careful what you hear. Because nowadays, not everything is by facts. Not everything is by statistics. Now people are go off their emotions and feelings instead of facts. I'm gonna prove it to you. The first video I'm gonna let you listen to is a woman who is a nurse or doctor and tells you being fat and overweight, it is okay. Honestly, I can't think of the last time I heard a doctor or a nurse told me being overweight is okay. It's okay to be fat. Honestly, I've never even heard of that. But then again, I rarely go to the doctors because I rarely have any problems because I take care of myself. But take a listen of the so-claimed doctor or nurse.
Hot take as a doctor, I totally agree. It is okay to be fat. We don't say that enough, but it needs to be normalized. If you are fat, that is okay.
That is insane. You think that one's bad? You think that's not common sense? I'm gonna top that one. I'm gonna listen to another one where the guy's interviewing a lady about being overweight and how it's not good and how it's fat. And this lady claims she's in the medical field. So if you think the other one was bad, take a listen to this one.
I'm fat because I drink too much red wine and I don't exercise enough.
That's not true. You're not fat because of what you eat and how much exercise you do. That is the line that everybody is led to believe.
Left you now and ran up and down Leicester Square for 3 hours and then went home and had a piece of lettuce and then came in and did the same tomorrow and the day after that and the day after that. I would start to look like a supermodel.
Only for a few months, and then you would stop. In fact, you would start regaining weight within the first year. That is a fact. That's not fiction. That is an absolute fact. And there is literally no evidence that weight loss is going to benefit anybody's health, whether they're a child or an adult. I'm willing to stake my medical career on the fact that that the lies that we've been sold about obesity, especially childhood obesity, are not true. They are there to benefit the weight loss industry, not to benefit children. Evidence is very clear. Up to 98% of people that attempt weight loss will have regained all the weight within 5 years. That is up to 98% of people, and that is absolutely unquestionable. Second thing, this idea that energy in and energy out and energy calorie deficits.
I'm fat.
So there it is. Emotions, feelings over logic and facts. Of course, this woman was overweight and fat. Of course, this woman was woke because she's a woman who dressed up as a boy. And as she claims that she's in the medical field, if she is, and if this is what she preaches, this is terrifying. This is a medical advice people are going to start giving you. This is insane. I have no words for it. But people in the medical field are saying stuff like this. This is crazy. This is not true. Exercise is good for you. Since the beginning of time, it always has been, and it always will. No matter what these woke people talk about, no matter what these insane people say about their feelings and emotions, not true. Don't listen to them. Do your own research. Know what's right. And take care of yourself and be the best version of yourself. It's not okay to be overweight. It's not okay to be fat. It never has been. It never will be. We got to stop normalizing this. We have to stop making this okay because this is not right. This is not healthy. We can't be teaching kids this because they're going to struggle in life. This is why a lot of people have problems nowadays. Because of advice like this. It's very sickening and sad to see. So go exercise. Go be healthy. Take care of yourself. Take care of your body. And it will take care of you. It's as simple as that. No feelings involved, no emotions involved, facts and logic. That's how society has been from the beginning of a time. But now people want to go off the rails and avoid all that, which is insane. And I won't tolerate it, and I won't stand for stuff like this. I'm always going to tell you the truth. I'm always going to tell you what's right. Whether you like it or not, that's how I am, and that's my message. That's who I am as a human being. Get straight to the point, whether people like it or not. I go by facts and logic. I'm a very logical person. That's just how I am. And we need to do better And we need a better society. So go out there, go be the best version of yourself. So that's going to do it for this podcast episode. Hopefully you see how crazy this world's getting, how people are going against what's right, what's logical, what are facts, and talking about the opposite, and preaching this. Insane, ludicrous world, unfortunately. But these are the times we're in. So hopefully you found this podcast beneficial. As always, I appreciate your time for listening. If you want to support the podcast, you can do that by being a Patreon member. Thank you, Blade262, as always, for being a Patreon member. Truly helps the podcast. Please, as always, subscribe, like, comment, and share with other people. Greatly appreciate it. Thank you guys as always. I wish you the best. Go out there, exercise, be healthy, and be the best you can be. Thank you again. Take care of yourself. Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to Change Your Mindset podcast. Be sure to tune in every week for a new episode. As always, change your mindset to change your life.